Hi, thank you so much for tuning in to Ange'luscious Authentic Dishes. I am super excited today because I found callaloo. Now, I know that it's different from the callaloo that you've always seen, but this is a different variety. Now, isn't it amazing how that magenta hue just ripples throughout the leaves? Callaloo is the same as amaranth. And what I did, I washed my callaloo. I wash all my fruits. I wash all my vegetables. So this is a sink full of water, cold water, with some vinegar and salt. It gives me peace of mind to wash my fruits and vegetables. I also gave it a rough chop. I chopped the stems. I bundled everything together and I chopped the stems. There is no use or reason to discard the stems. It would be just a total waste. I also bundled, all the leaves and I gave it a rough chop. And I got this massive amount of callaloo that you see right here. I had 3 bundles of callaloo, so it's enough. I even had some overflow that I had to put in another container. I'll just bag it up and freeze it for use at a later date. Now, to enhance the flavor, I added some tomatoes and onions and peppers. I've got 1 whole sweet onion, uh, some scallions, green onions, and 1 whole jalapeno pepper. I used about 16 grape tomatoes that I, sliced in half. I'm going to use a few slices from that Scotch bonnet pepper. And I've also got some Kumato tomato or chocolate tomatoes. You can use whatever tomatoes you like, but this is what I had on hand. So this is what I'll be utilizing today. Now to begin, you want to saute the onions and the jalapeno peppers and the Scotch bonnet peppers. Just want to soften the vegetables a little, so I'm going to give it a quick saute before I go ahead and add the callaloo. Now I used about 2 tablespoons of coconut oil because that was my oil of preference today. And I'm going to add the callaloo. It may seem like the pan is overflowing, but really it isn't. It will wilt, just as any other vegetable that you steam. You normally start out with a lot and then it wilts to pretty much nothing. I do have an awesome callaloo recipe in my cookbook. My cookbook is called From My Taste Buds to Yours. And the recipe that I have in my cookbook, it's called Callaloo Emancipated. So go to my website, Ange'luscious.com, and order your copy today. Now, I'm also cooking my callaloo with provisions, which I normally do. If it's not some fried dumplings, it's usually boiled. I've got boiled dumplings here with chayote. We call that chocho. And I've also got taro root, which we call coco. So let me go back to my callaloo here. It's wilting, it's steaming, it's softening, and it's more manageable. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a quick toss just to combine, all the onions and peppers and scallions that we added earlier. I just want to make sure that everything is incorporated and it's adding wonderful flavor. Um, you want to make sure that you season your food. So I'm adding pink Himalayan salt because I love pink Himalayan salt. So season your food. You want to have great flavor. Now, as you can see, it's releasing its own liquid. I haven't added any liquid, but the callaloo is releasing its own liquids. It's going to create sort of a wonderful sauce, when we're ready to eat. I've also added a half a stick of butter, which I, just chopped and, put little pieces all over it because I love butter. Butter isn't bad for you, at least in my book, it isn't bad. Butter is cream, one ingredient. Cream, you churn it, churn it, churn it until it becomes butter. I do not use, I can't believe it's not butter or margarine or any other hydrogenated oils that's posing as butter. So I love butter. It's going to add wonderful flavor. And I'm just, incorporating this and tossing it just so that everything gets coated with this lovely butter here. My callaloo is completely steamed and it's time to add my tomatoes. I've added those grape tomatoes that I had and my Clamato tomatoes. And I prefer to add the tomatoes towards the end of my dishes because I love that burst of flavor when the tomato pops in my mouth. It just kind of heightens my senses. And like I said, this is just my preference. Now, if you'd like to cook your tomatoes a little bit longer, if you wanted to give it a quick toss just to combine everything, feel free to go ahead and do so. I would love for you to subscribe to my website at Ange'luscious.com and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Ange'luscious Authentic Dishes. Now take a look at the finished product. Isn't this amazing? For more authentic recipes, order my cookbook today at Ange'luscious.com.